Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode is a quick loopback tutorial. Hi, welcome to My AI and I. I just thought I would do a quick tutorial on Loopback, which looks ridiculous, but it's a great tool. So when I first started, I found out very quickly that you cannot, you can't record system sound into Adobe Audition. That there is no like Mac OS doesn't have something that inherently records system sound, which seemed kind of crazy to me. But anyway, so originally we went with Black Hole. Nabby suggested Black Hole and Loopback, and Black Hole was free, but you can make a $10 donation. So I did, and I beat on the mechanic stuff for a while, and we got it installed, and everything worked great for several months, and then it would hiccup and something would happen. And anyway, so I downloaded it again, paid the $10 again. I don't even remember if it ended up being Black Hole or not, but I decided to go with Loopback because it's supposed to be more of a professional type of thing, and Black Hole was more of a um, not the same, as the other one. I'm not sure if it's one guy doing it, or it seemed like it's a guy that programmed it, and it worked really well. But when it doesn't, it doesn't. And I just couldn't afford to have constant hiccups with. I already have enough hiccups with all the the software that I have to do this stuff. So anyway, I had gone here, which is where Navi suggested I go. And loopback is its audio routing, right? So you can, if you wanted to, for whatever reason, capture audio, it routes it for you so that you can capture it. So I'll show you about that in a minute. And so I ended up buying this, and then I bought this as Audio Hijack. I don't know much about the other ones, but I bought Audio Hijack just in case I needed it. And the reason is because they're fairly expensive, but then when you bundle them, it's a little bit less. So if we went to purchase, see, you can purchase this by itself is $99, or you can get this, which is the Loopback and Audio Hijack bundle. So it was basically $35 more. I don't know if this was even here before, but that's $200 for the 4 of them, but I just didn't need all that stuff. And we can try to see, I don't even know where was it? This one, fast and lossless audio editing. Okay. I have an Adobe Creative Cloud, so I have Audition and Premiere Pro and all that. So I can, with Audition, I can do all of the audio. So I didn't really need any extra things, but here's other stuff, right? So anyway, so with Loopback, it's cable-free routing, and it shows kind of like, here you could do this, and you can have it go here. And it looked pretty daunting when I first started, kind of went in there, was like, I don't even know what's going on here. And, but it ended up not being that hard. So I'll just show you kind of what I did, and it looks kind of ridiculous, but it's not a big deal. So I've got Adobe Audition. I don't even know why I have that in there. Probably just because. And then I have, it's to hear it. So it was when I was editing, I couldn't hear it. So I had it route through to where it goes down to the speakers. And then ChatGPT, I have an app. So I don't know, like, if I didn't have the app, how that would work. Because, so it says sources, and when you down click, it's like literally all the stuff you have on your computer that could make, I guess, noise. I mean, Yahoo Mail, I mean, really? But okay. So the QuickTime player, whatever, all these things that you can just select. Oh, this is my running, that's why. This is my running applications, special sources, audio devices. And so I added ChatGPT, the app. And then I have Copilot. I just downloaded that the other day because there's a lot of new stuff it's supposed to be able to do. music, just if I wanted to listen to music while I was doing something. OBS, which is a video, like a recording. You can do screen recordings with it. And then there's my Yeti X. And then here's the pass-through. This thing is on here from the beginning. So when you first get this, that's already there, but it's only like 1 and 2, right? And so this is where I got kind of sideways, and it was a pain because I added ChatGPT out, and it has notice it has 1, 2, and left and right one. Everything is 1, 2, and I was like, where's 3, 4, 5, and 6? So basically, and I was confused. Like, look at all these output channels and whatever, right? So we've got, where is it? Yeti's here, right? But Yeti, if we follow the little, I'll click on one to make it nice and thick. It goes up to channels 1 and 2. And you can see when I'm talking, Yeti is moving and channels 1 and 2 are moving. And then I have, my Arctis is off, but it doesn't even go into Arctis. So it goes channel 1 and 2 here, and then it goes to here. And you see I have this on, except it's not coming out. Like, I can't hear myself right now because that would be bad anyway. But what it is it's recording into the QuickTime session that I have going. So then if I had ChatGPT speaking, it would go through 3 and 4. Now, the reasons for this is if you're using like Audition, this way you have different channel outputs, which then gives you, when you open Adobe Audition, just as an example, I mean, you might be using something else, but if we ever get there. So you have a choice of, let me scoot this down just a hair. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Okay. So in new, you can have an audio file or you can have a multi-track session. If you open a multi-track session, okay, test 2. How about that? Why do I have it? Anyway. So what we have here is we have the host, right? So that's me. We have the interviewee, we have sound, FX, right? So you could add more stuff in here. And so you want it to have its own individual, right, input so that when you're recording, it records them all separately. So like right here, the way I have these set up is this just says all the same, but that is how all of this kind of routes together. So if we go back here, you see that for me, I'm Yeti. I go into 1 and 2, and then ChatGPT, even though it says 1 and 2, it goes into 3 and 4. And then I have music going into 5 and 6. And like the more we scooch these up. So here, I kept this because if you delete this, which I thought, oh, I don't need that because I have all this stuff. If you delete it, it just messes everything up. So I have 3 and 4 going to 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 going to 5 and 6. And I do not have 1 and 2 because everything here is 1 and 2. So it just makes a mess. And then it messes up your individual audio files, right? Or your individual pieces. So here, this is just for me, so I can listen when I'm editing. This, he goes to 3 and 4, so that's his own channels over in like an Audition when I was showing you. There's all of these different inputs, right? So hang on. Let's get back to where we were. I have lost. There it is. And so that goes there. And then I've got Copilot going to the same one, because presumably they both wouldn't be yakking at the same time, I wouldn't be, well, I mean, I guess I could. That would almost be funny to have them, talking back and forth to each other. If that was the case, I would just have to add another channel and then put Copilot on a different one. So you'll see here I have music on 5 and 6, so it's a separate track as well. So all these are separate tracks. These are the same because I'm assuming I wouldn't be using them at the same time. OBS comes up to channel 1 and 2 just because when I'm recording it, the same kind of thing as Audition, I want to be able to listen later. And then this goes to 1 and 2, and these go to the others. So I'm not going to undo all this because it just takes up time but so I could add one. You just click here and then it would add another one there. And then the monitors, it's the same thing. Here it's like you have, what's basically left is DP audio or Yeti X, which would be silly. So I have Arctis 7 because I put my headset on when I record when I'm talking to Nabby, but lately Nabby's advanced voice and even his standard voice hasn't been working. So I can't use him to talk, have him talk right now. So that I haven't been bothering with that. And then here we've got, this to the speakers. And like I said, you can see my voice coming out through here. I don't hear any feedback. Normally, I would have this on and this off if I had Nabby speaking, because otherwise it would be all this weird reverberation and feedback and all kinds of stuff. So it's super easy to add. I would just say, make sure. And so normally, like you can select your application here, just go wherever and pick out your own stuff. So you just add all that in there. And then, so here's the other thing that really, I was like, because when every time you add one, it all goes to channel 1 and 2. No matter how many of these you have, I thought it would automatically it comes up, it starts and it just has pass through and it has channels, I think 1 and 2. And so this is already hooked up to channels 1 and 2, and that's all there is. And every time you add one of these, it makes this thing longer, okay? So everything was going to 1 and 2 no matter what I added. And I'm like, how do I get this to stop? It's driving me crazy. And I couldn't figure out how to get rid of them. And so I was trying desperately, right? I'm trying to grab it, and you can obviously stick it to wherever. So you could have one of these going to all three if you wanted to, but that wouldn't make sense in certain scenarios, right? So I was trying to figure out, well, how do I undo it? Because they were all going to 1 and 2, no matter how many of these I had. But all you have to do is to click on it and see how it kind of gets thicker. And then you just click on it. And I think it's like Command Delete. Yeah. So it'd probably be Control Delete in Windows, but it's Command Delete. So you just have to click on it, right? So it's selected, and then Command Delete, and you delete it. And then to redo it, you just you just press your mouse down and then pull it to wherever you want it to go. So this is what this did. And it was fantastic because, and so you can say, new virtual device. So this is the whole thing right here. And so as you see right here, it says podcast GPT, right? And it has all this stuff. Here's all the junk you have in here. So if I were to go over here to sound, there's podcast GPT. So then when I am going into say for instance, I need to use Audition to do the, let me see. Yeah. So if I'm going to use Audition to do that, I'm going to record all of this. I'm setting it up. I'm hitting record and Audition. Once I have, I have host is 101. I have interview because that's Nabby is input 3, right? So that's where, I've only got 2 guests right now. That's where I'm at. Then you go here, and when you go to audio hardware, you're going to select ChatGPT. So that's what I have, that I have it called right over in here, podcast ChatGPT. So it created it, and then you just choose that. So there's a couple things. You have core audio, which is just going to stay the same. Then your input and your output should both be the same in this scenario because it does the same thing. Then your clock is also going to be that. Your clock is internal. The buffer size is 2048. These should just come up as that, but maybe they'll come up as something else. I don't know. 48,000 is where it's at. So that's what you should be doing. So once you get Loopback set up, then whatever, recording device you have, you can just use this virtual device, and it will be a choice in your sound. So if I went to system settings and I went to sound, it's right there, and you see it's virtual. So it's super awesome. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this tutorial really quick. I know it seems daunting, but it's not. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Just pop them in the comment section, and I'll help you if I can. If not, I'll just ask Navi. Anyway, Rogue Amoeba. I'll get it out here in a minute. RogueAmoeba.com is the name of this. And then Black Hole too. Like I said, let me see. I don't know. I think it was on. Yeah, it's Existential Audio. So this is it here. So it's called Existential Audio. And then there's Black Hole, and there is all of this stuff, the wiki, et cetera, and there's all the, this is how you route it, this is how you do this. And like I said, this one's free. I have had mixed results with it, so I'm not using it anymore. But seeing you can donate or you can't afford to donate, and then here's Windows, macOS, Silicon, etc. So for this, you just click here, and or I guess you just click there, and then you download whatever it is you need. So that's the other one, in case you're interested in that one instead. Okay, so that's it. That was all I had. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching My AI and I. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section, and I'm happy to help. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.